think the quality is fine. Just looking to see whether or not the stream is actually going live and to see whether or not the quality is there. I did quite a few tests before I started streaming, so it should be acceptable. Just had to double check I'm not listening to myself. Okay. I recently rebooted my computer entirely. Like, what do you call it? Completely cleaned up my hard disk and stuff. So I had to reinstall Windows and I had to do a bunch of things on my computer just to set everything up again. So hopefully everything is like it's supposed to be. I'm not entirely sure, but I think it is. So just keep an eye out to see whether or not everything is like it's supposed to. So this is pretty much my first live stream on this channel here. And I thought that since it's the first one, I should probably explain a little bit about what exactly the plan is for this live stream. I can already see people are watching. There's 17 people watching and I'm starting to get nervous about it. So sort of the goal with today is just to sort of test out to see whether or not live streaming is something that could potentially be a thing on the channel. I do have a subject for today's sort of live stream, so you can see in the title. I did actually write something already. I do have everything open over here so I can see the chat. That is something. And just before we get started, I do have some chat rules that I should probably mention since it's the first live stream. So in the description of this video, you can actually see the different guidelines and stuff, so you can actually see whether or not you can curse in the chat, for example, like whether or not you can do that. So there's a couple of different guidelines there that I think is important to actually see before getting into the actual stream here. So I do also have a couple of them that I should probably explain why I do have those rules. First of all, if I do actually find my description here, as you can see, I do have a couple of different sort of special rules that I don't think many other live streamers have. Which is about asking on one-on-one help with tutorials. That is one thing that I don't really think goes into a live stream, because it's a live stream. There's many people watching, so if you ask for one-on-one help, it is something that, you know, of course, if you're having trouble with something, of course you can comment on the videos, but it doesn't really go together with the live stream, I think. Yeah, that's just a couple of different rules I think people should go through. There's also a couple of different frequently asked questions that you can go ahead and read, because I do get those very often in the comments on my videos, so thought I might include those as well. But other than that, pretty much what the plan is for today is to do a little bit of Sprites development, because I'm working a little bit on Unity with C# and game development. So I think that could be a fun thing to do for a first live stream. I do have some royalty-free music. I have tried experimenting a lot with music. Nothing works. Everything gets copyright strikes. So now I'm actually using only music that YouTube has actually allowed. So that is a thing as well. But besides that, I think we're actually ready for the live stream. I have started a little bit. This is not a clean project. I have developed a little bit, and I can actually show off what exactly I have developed on. Do bear in mind, I'm not a designer, so I'm testing out my pixel art sort of skills. And I think they're okay so far. If we actually play what I have so far here. Again, this is a completely clean project. I'm basically just sort of setting up the theme for it. But the idea here is, you know, a character, a 2D game, and it's more of a fun project. It's nothing serious, so just something I thought could be fun for a live stream. Now, I don't know how many people are actually doing game development. I should probably mention that while I do have a couple of years experience with C#, I don't have a couple of years experience when it comes to Unity. When you learn, let's say C#, since I'm using that one. One of the things that people usually don't know when they get started on a programming language they actually use for, let's say, game development, is the fact that they think they can just learn the programming language, and then once they have the language learned, they can just build games. Like, they don't need to learn anything else. When in actuality, when you learn C#, it's 50% of what you need to learn. The other 50% is you need to learn the platform that you develop on. So while I do know C#, I don't know the platform that well. So I'm sort of running into hiccups from time to time when it comes to Unity. So I do look up stuff online from time to time. And I thought it'd just be kind of fun to see sort of the, I don't know, the development process of the sprites here. So today is going to be just mainly, what do you call it, artistic development for the game, developing the sprites. And the way that that works, in case people don't know that, let me actually go ahead and refresh here, because I don't think I see anything going on in the chat. I might just be one of those streamers that does... Oh, there's a bunch of people talking in the chat. I had to refresh the browser. My chat was completely empty, so I didn't see anything. I'm just looking through the chat. Hey, lots of people. Yeah, so right now it's just texturing. One of the people asking about that. So right now it's just sprite development. When it comes to 2D games, what people don't know, you can actually set up tile maps inside the game. So you can develop a tile palette, which I have on the side here. And then you can just sort of draw and paint your game, which is a much easier process, I think, when it comes to certain types of 2D games. So if I want to, you know, draw ground, I can do that and just sort of draw it out on different types of layers. So one layer might be something that the player can't run through or into, and other layers might be behind or in front of the player. So there's different types of layers going on here. And that's essentially what I'm developing today. So my goal here is to sort of try and develop something that looks like our house. Mainly the backyard so far, and I want to make the interiors of the house as well. I want to make at the front of the house, just to sort of have some different scenes that you can go through. And I only just started on the first scene here, so this is the backyard. I developed some grass, a little bit of gravel, how do you say that, like concrete? But it doesn't look that refined yet, so I do need to change the concrete a little bit. If I just go ahead and go into play mode so you don't see all these lines here, or I could just disable them. You can actually see that it doesn't really look like gravel, I think. There's a little bit missing there. I don't know if it's too tiny to see in the stream, but it doesn't look like gravel that much. So there's a little bit of adjusting there. Yesterday I had some issues figuring out how to update the sprite sheet, or what do you call it, the tile palette inside the game. So it took me quite a while inside Unity to figure that out. I'm just gonna go ahead and post a little thing here, if I can find it, because I already see people writing stuff. There we go. I don't know how to set up a bot for the YouTube chat yet, so I need to figure that out at some point. But there are some certain types of questions that I will get throughout this, the stream, and I did answer those in the description of this video. So if you have specific related questions, for example, when will I do another PHP tutorial? When will I don't know, start a new course? Then I do have certain questions answered in the description. There's just certain questions that I don't want to repeatedly answer, so it's going to be in the description of the video there. Okay, so really the idea here is that we need to make some various textures, like the gravel, like the grass, but we also need to have some different just individual sprites, like the grass I have down here. This is actually, so I don't think I set that up yet. No, I haven't set that up yet. So what I can do is I can go to the foreground or the background, and I can actually draw on some grass that the player can actually walk behind, which is kind of neat. So if I were to draw that there, goes to the background layer, you can actually see that when I start walking, Some of the grass goes in front of the sprite and some grass goes behind it. So there's different types of sprites I need to develop here. Could be pictures that could go on the inside walls of the house. Maybe it could be fences, for example, for the backyard. So there's a little bit of different things I need to develop today. You should do a Q&A stream in the future. That could maybe be a thing. You were doing green screen. Why not today? It's because my green screen is actually attached to the wall back there. So it's up now. And if I have to take it down, I have to do a complete new setup from behind me here. So no green screen today. How do you create the sprites in Photoshop, or is it a template? I just open up a sprite sheet. If you don't know how to create different, right now it's what do you call it? Pixel art. So you can open up a small pixel, very pixelated project inside Photoshop, and then create grid lines and then draw within those lines. And then I need to make sure that each sort of everything is divided into boxes. So as you can see, if I were to take this thing down here, you can actually see that. Oh, I'm actually going to grab it here. Let's merge all the layers together because this is an issue I'm going to run into. I can actually draw this over and you can actually see that it fits into squares. I can put them next to each other. And then it matches up in 10 pixels by 10 pixels. So inside the actual game, I have set it up so that each box sort of gets divided into sections. And that's how I can actually draw it inside the game. Let's actually go ahead and delete this one because I don't actually need that one. Where am I going with this channel? Don't really know yet. How much time do I code per day? Usually I get up at 7:30 in the morning. Walk into my office at 7:45 after I let the dogs out to pee. And I start at 8. And then I usually stop at around 7 o'clock in the evening or something. So it's quite a few hours a day. I'm gonna try not to lose my voice. I'm gonna try and take this relaxed. So I think this sprite sheet is just going to be outdoor things. So what I think I'll try and do is I actually have the backyard right in front of me here so I can actually see it. What I'll try and develop is a couple of different flowers to start with. Bushes could also be a thing, maybe trees. A fence I think I'll wait with, but I'll just take all the green stuff first and then I'll draw them into the tile map. So I do have a couple of different colors picked out and I should probably stay within the same color scheme. So if you go into layer, again, I do want to point out I'm not very good artistically, so this is going to be experimenting, and I will screw this up the first time, and then I'm gonna redraw the tree probably, and then it'll turn out better. So if we try and just sort of copy what we have over here, because I do think that a flower square could probably look very similar to the grass we have here. I think just sort of copy paste it over. Keeps not wanting to pick the right thing. There we go. I think flowers could be yellow. Just go and pick a yellow color. Maybe a white in the center. Yeah, it's pretty much pixel by pixel. So you have to click each time I want to draw a pixel. I'm glad that you enjoy my videos. Am I working in any IT company right now? No, I'm not. I used to work at a company called Easy Food in their marketing department. They didn't have a multimedia department. It wasn't that kind of company. But they did sort of merge the IT part of the company together with the marketing part of the company. So I did work as a multimedia designer in Easy Food. And it was mainly developing for the website. It was mainly for creating small sort of apps that would go with, for example, if they have to go to a convention, they would have an app with a wheel that would spin, and it'd be sort of a lucky wheel. You might get a prize or not. Like, I would be part of developing stuff like that. And then it would sort of get stored inside a file that you could then open up in Excel, and then you could see the winners and such. And then it was a small little projects, multimedia related. Okay, we have to maintain the ratio here, otherwise it might mess up. If I miss by 1 pixel and then I continue building on it, it is going to screw up. Just gonna draw this over. So how do you draw trees? How do you start that? I mean, if I kind of look outside, it could... I don't think I need to draw the actual grass in front of the tree, because I can just reuse the texture here, put it in front. So if I just go ahead and sort of choose a brownish color for the trunk. That's too dark. Can't really see that's a tree. That might be better. Do I pay for my Adobe software? Back when I was studying and I didn't have a lot of money, I was not paying for it. I did have a friend who had the software for free on his hard disk. But when you start working with it, when you're not a student anymore and you actually start working with your products, then you should pay for it. So I am paying for the software right now. It's 512 kroner every single month. It's quite a lot. So that's part of doing this sort of for work. You have to pay for your products. I did actually pretty early on when I got my internship back when I was finishing up my education. I did actually have the company pay for my Adobe membership. Like, they actually offered to do that. And when you're a student, they actually reduce the cost. So it's about 150 kroner. I forgot how much it is. It might be like a little bit, maybe $80 a month I'm paying right now. And then it used to be much smaller than that. So maybe $20 it used to be. I think a trunk could probably be like this. Does that look like a tree? I might not have a very good tree here. It could possibly be a tree. There has to be some texture on it, otherwise it's not gonna look good, but just the general shape of it, I think, is going somewhere. Let's delete these green stuff. Don't need those. Sir, am I a engineer? Like an engineer? No, I'm not. It's a different field. I think that could be a tree. It's kind of symmetrical, which means that it looks the same on this side as it does this side. And I think that when you develop something that has to look more lifelike, I mean, it is pixel art, so I don't know how detailed I should go, but usually you want it to be a little bit offsetting, so not symmetrical. Let's try and do something a little bit darker here. Yeah, cool. Right. Again, I'm like fairly new to pixel art, so this is probably not how most people would draw the tree. But I think it works out. I think it works out fine. Let's choose a more grayish kind of color and draw in the shadow of the tree, and then some highlights. I think that will work well. Does that work out? Maybe draw this shadow down here. I know so many things. What do you want to see yourself in 5 years? Better at those things I know. Is it possible to minimize the sprite sheet to maximize the file size, like in a cartridge game in basic code where you only have a limited amount of data and graphics space in Unity? Well, it is, but you're also going to decrease the quality. I mean, when we're talking about pixels, like I am right now, you probably don't need that high quality because it's not going to do anything special. It's such a small file I'm working with right now, so it's not really something I need to worry about. But had I not developed in pixel style, then I'm actually not sure what you could be doing to minimize the file sizes. Let's see. I think this is a fine tree. So the trick is here that I have to remain within the box. So essentially we have a box here. And then I need to continue drawing the tree above it. And I might need to move down the tree a little bit because I don't want to move into these textures up here. So if we just sort of continue drawing, let's just do like this so we know where the difference is. So now we start the next box. Go up here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, it's actually all the way up there. Yeah, we need to move this tree down because I don't want it touching. I mean, it's not really going to do anything because it is split into squares, so it's not going to touch it either way. I just want it to be a little bit separate. Let's actually merge all these layers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And now we have the split here too, so that's actually fine. How tall should a tree be? I think I'm gonna develop just a tree trunk by itself, and then I'm gonna make the actual the leaves. I'm gonna do that as separate, because then I can customize it more inside Unity than I have to do inside Photoshop. Which language do I prefer in Unity? C# or JavaScript? They actually removed the JavaScript feature, so you can't do JavaScript anymore. Unless, I guess, you install a previous version of Unity. So right now, it's actually only C# you can do inside Unity. It makes you miss game development. It is sort of a neat thing. Like, it's a cozy thing to spend your day on, just sort of building these things. I think I'm gonna have to build some... because the tree trunk is going to be a little bit too much of the same. Maybe not like that. There we go. Has to be a little bit of difference. I don't like symmetrical. To draw a box, it would be easy to draw a box so I could draw inside of. When it comes to the tree, I would have to delete the box afterwards. So I think I can roughly manage where I need to stay within. But yeah, if you had to do something like this up here, I actually usually draw a box too as well. So let's see, there has to be... Like this is where, I don't know, there's like a hole. So an owl or something can live inside the tree. I might need to push it out even more. It just seems kind of weird. I don't know. Programming is probably the... I wouldn't say easiest part, but it's the quickest part in game development. Building all the assets is what takes a long time, and probably concept development as well. I haven't really developed the concept for this game, so I actually don't know how this game is going to function in the end. I just have an idea about, because we have so many animals here, something about a character that walks around, maybe tries to find animals or something, or do something with the animals, and they have to solve puzzles in order to get to the animals. I don't really know where I'm going with this. But I figure I should just work on sprite asset development to start with. So is there a game already built around these sprites, or is it just a standalone? I can actually show what I have so far. I just started this development for this game, so it doesn't really have anything yet. It's just very basic, a person walking around right now. With a little bit of animation. Like, the animations haven't been completed. As you can see when I walk up and down, there's no walking animations for that, so a little bit that needs to be worked on. I ran into this really weird issue yesterday, and I can actually show you what it is. If I go inside my environment layer and I go ahead and remove the physics material. How do I remove it? There we go. And then take my character. If for some reason, and I just want to point out what exactly I have here so far, because so far, if I were to go ahead and remove the foreground and the background, this is my environment layer, meaning that the character can't walk through these boxes here, if I were to take my character and actually play it, let's actually go and delete these layers just to show it. If we were to actually play this, as you can see, I can walk around, but I can't go through the layer down here. If I go this way, I get stuck on something. Like, you see how there's a box I'm getting stuck on when I try to walk down? I have no idea what that box is, because I have no colliders here. If I were to go ahead, go into the environment, let's actually revert this back. If I were to go inside my environment, turn off my tile map collider, I can suddenly do it. Like, there's no issues. I can walk down, there's nothing I get stuck on. So I don't know why the tile map collider does this. I tried with a square collider, I tried with a, what is it called, edge collider. Everything does the same. It creates this weird invisible wall that I can't walk through. And I don't know why that is. Let's see. You give me kudos for being able to concentrate while I have people watching and asking questions. I have to admit, I am slightly nervous about live streaming. It's not something that I'm comfortable with on this channel here. So it is something I want to do. So I decided, okay, just jump into it. Do something simple for the first live stream, like building assets. Do I use Blender? I have used Blender in the past. During my, I think like 6 years ago. So I have used Blender, but it's been a while. The longest time I've coded for, I don't know exact. I've had days where I just sort of forget about the time, then suddenly I lose track, and then it's morning, and then it's evening, like a few hours later. And this sort of thing reminds me of why I stopped. Yeah, it's because everything is so physics based inside Unity. So small things like invisible walls and stuff is like, I don't know why they pop up. Some people say it's because the edge between the tile map is causing something, because, you know, the tiles, they have to meet somewhere. It causes some sort of hiccup above it. But even if I use edge colliders, which isn't like that, it's still not working. So I'm doing good so far. I'm glad. Oh, you want to be a front-end specialist, but you don't know how to do it, or is it worth it? You have no idea. Usually when you go inside a company, it really depends on what kind of job you want to have. When you start out as a developer, you know, learning it in school, they sort of teach a little bit of everything. At least that's what I remember from it. And in the real world, you only use a little bit of everything if you are a freelance developer, if you work for yourself, or at least a very small team. If you go work for a company like a marketing agency or a tech company or something, you're usually just going to specialize in a specific field, which means that if you want to specialize in front-end development, that's the sort of thing you need to work on then. Because there is jobs out there where you just need to do front-end development. Actually, that's jobs I see most often actually pop up. So if you only want to do front-end development, there's no need to force yourself to do back-end development, because there is jobs out there for people who just want to do front-end. And there is jobs, at least here in Denmark there is. I have seen it. So let's see. I think I caught up to all the questions. Hi, what are you doing for, I'm guessing that's living. YouTubing, mainly. I do small projects on the side, but it's small projects. And then I actually spent quite a lot of time. I love learning. I've always loved studying in school back when I was at the university. So I love learning new things. Like right now I'm working with Unity. Like I said, when you learn a programming language like C# and you say, I want to be a game developer, and people tell you you need to learn C#, then a lot of people think that it's 100% of it is learning C#, when in actuality it's 50% learning C# and 50% learning the platform you want to develop on. So if you want to be a Unity developer, then you need to learn Unity as well. There's different, what do you call it? libraries when it comes to Unity. There's different ways to access certain features inside Unity. So if I want to access, for example, where the character transforms themselves around when I walk around on the map, you need to learn how to actually access that using the Unity library. So there's a certain system that I haven't really learned that fully yet. I think this is a good tree. I'm gonna work on the leaves. And I'm just gonna work on it on the side here. Let's see, if we go up here, this is where it ends, right? What is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 9, 10. Yeah, this is where it stops. So now I'll actually draw a box. This could actually be the inside of a tree. So I could use that as a reference. Let's do that. That's easier. But we also do need to... Let's just copy this one more time. I have a drink in the way, so I can't really see what I'm doing. Let's copy it one more time. We need to have an above, a side, and a bottom. So actually, we could just be rotating it. So we just need to develop it once, and then can just rotate it. So I'll do that. I wish I was here earlier. I love your videos so much. Thank you. It's sort of a weird way I got started with my videos. Thank you for your lessons. With you, I started HTML, CSS, JavaScript. You do a great job. Thank you. I'm not used to getting compliments live. You think there's too much contrast between the greens? So you think it's... would it be possible maybe to do a in-between color? Maybe and create some different texture? I do actually have up here, when it comes to mixing in with the earth, I do have a different green. So maybe mixing a little bit of that could work. Because it is quite contrasty. I also noticed that if you create too little contrast, it's also something that sort of gets weird in the end. Okay, so you agree on the contrasting. I'll try and work on it, because maybe it shouldn't be exactly like the grass. Even inside the game, if you take a look at it, I think you might be right about the grass having too much contrast, because the character's sort of disappearing into the dark green. Let's try editing the grass up here and just sort of see what happens. It's down here. Yeah. Pick this color here and just change it slightly. So if we use something like this instead, let's see how it actually turns up. Now it's barely no contrast. So if we were to go inside Unity now. What just happened? Oh, I broke the game. What happened? Oh, okay, no, I know what happened. I had two green boxes next to each other. I sort of switched them around. That's fine, I actually want these two to be next to each other with the flowers and the grass. So that's fine. Let's move this up. There. Okay, there we go. Move that over. And move this over. There you go. Okay, let's try that again. Is that better? I think that is better. Also, one thing I learned was that I shouldn't be too easy to tell when the sprite repeats. Yeah, it sort of has to merge together. I think you might be right about like some of these big areas, like the big chunks here. They are too in your face and you see them repeat all the time. So maybe they should be cut down and be a little bit more simple. So maybe something like this. Right? Let's try that. Oh, this is much better. Look at that. Such an improvement. Let's do it before and after. Let's see what okay, no, we can't do that. Ah, that would have sucked. Okay. That does look a lot better. Like it's a lot more difficult to tell where it starts and where it ends. So quite an improvement. I like the way you did the tree trunk though. I think it works really well. I think the only way we can really tell is by actually importing it and actually seeing how it looks like. One thing I had to spend a lot of hours figuring out yesterday, because there was no help on the internet, was if I want to update my tile palette, how am I supposed to do that? I have a couple of pets in here with me as well, so he's noticing I'm talking to somebody. If I go into my sprites, environments, I can update it like this and overwrite it. So that's the right place, right? Reuse. No? Huh. Oh, right. I forgot something. Sprite editor. Trim. Let's see. Not automatic. Cell size. Oh, that was way too much. 10. Slice. And apply. Okay, now let's retry this, because this is going to work now. Reuse. Yeah, there we go. Now it got imported. I had a bit of issues figuring out how to do this yesterday. Is it? No, okay, no, it is staying within the grid, so that's fine. Let's see, really better. Hello world, console log okay. Well, I can console log okay. But actually let's try it. I'll do that. It's not called console log though, that's JavaScript. So it's called debug.log if you want to do it in Unity. So if we go in here, I guess I can just do it in player movement. I did consider whether or not the camera should follow the player, but I think it's better to just have a fixed sort of thing going. So let's console log it, what do you call it, debug.log here at the beginning. Let's do hello world. There we go. Hey, hello world. It says right here. It's quite tiny, but it does say it. So there's a little bit of thing going on here with the edges, and I don't quite know why that is. I mean, there's no edges going on right now. Maybe I need to redraw it. Maybe that's why. Because I did experience that at a point where I had to redraw. There we go. Let's try it again. No, it's still there. Huh. It's funny enough, it's like right... Oh, I know how to fix it. Okay. Oh, how is that? You go to assets, you go to sprites, environment, and I create an atlas. Let's call this one environment _ atlas. And I think we need to choose the actual environment that I'm using. So I'll use this one. Hey, buddy. You think you know the solution to my issue? I think I figured it out already, though. So let's see if it does it now. It might give me an error message. Yeah, it's going to throw me an error, but it fixed it though. So need to figure out what that error message is at some point. Yeah, fixed camera. Let's see. So will the rooms be like the original Legend of Zelda? I never played that, but I think I know what you mean. Like it's you go through a door and then you enter another room, sort of. I think that's how it will actually become. Hi Daniel, I improved my knowledge of HTML, CSS, and JavaScript with you. What would you think about doing courses in Python, Java, or C++? Read the video description. I've answered all those questions in there. Let me actually go ahead and throw in another... Again, I need to learn how to do bots in the chat. Just gonna go ahead and throw in another one of these. But yeah, so I fixed the sort of weird tile thing. Object reference not set to an instance of an object. Sprite Atlas Inspector. Okay, I'm gonna Google that issue a little bit later. Right now we're just working the sprite, so we're not gonna work on the technical issues inside Unity. So let's go back into Photoshop. Actually, no, we were supposed to see how the tree looked like. So if I go to, let's see, the foreground, draw down here, and try and see how it looks like. And the great thing is that we can actually reuse the tree trunk, so you can grow it. Let's see how this looks like. So we can actually go behind the tree. That's kind of neat. And we should not be able to walk further than this. So maybe that should actually not be the foreground layer. Let's actually go and delete that one. Let's make this one on the environment. Something's off here. What's going on? Pick the environment, right? I'm drawing it. What happens if I... The environment should be in front of this section here. Oh, it's not even getting drawn for some reason. Oh, it's because of the atlas, isn't it? Let's delete it. No, it's not because of the atlas. Missing semicolon on line 1. I don't use Unity, so I don't know if there's any way to enlarge the game window. There is. I could also just zoom in. Is that better? Tell me stop. Oh wait, no, that's a chat delay. Yeah. Okay, so my tree for some reason is not shown inside the environment, but I do think it's because of my layer over here. So there we go. Let's see if it changed on all of them. Kind of weird. I had that at 5 the entire time, but I don't know why. Now it should be there. But I'm not colliding with it. So we need to re-update the collider. Which I disabled, right, because I had to show a thing. So now we can't walk through it. So now it's sort of there. There we go. This is the kind of things that you run into in game development. Like it's stupid, what do you call those? Like error 15 mistakes because it's 15 centimeters away from the screen. Okay, I think the tree is actually looking good, to be honest. The tree is looking fine. I think it's okay for the tree to have a little bit of dark texture because it needs to look rough. So now we just need to draw the leaves. In a one-liner, you don't need... Yeah, well, yeah. As well as when it comes to certain conditions, you can also just sort of do it in different ways than with PHP. It's sort of a habit of mine that I always need to close things off. So I always do it just to make sure. I am gonna add branches. That would be a good idea. Branches. Yeah, let's do branches. I didn't even think about branches. I just thought I was gonna kind of slap a couple of different leaves on the tree. Let's try it. Let's see how it looks like after I'm done drawing this one. I'm gonna try with the leaves first, and then I'll see if I need to add branches to it. I think the tree can have a little bit of a different texture here, so this might actually be okay for now. Need to round it off though. So where does it separate? It separates here. Okay. A little bit uncertain about how this needs to be done. So I'll just delete it a little bit of a time. There we go. Might have cut off too much, because now it's going to look like a pointy arrow. do something like this. Is that weird? No, it's not weird. I mean, imagine the whole thing together. What I can do is I can actually take this section here and I can copy it over to the other side. So I can actually copy paste it, move it over. Whoops, let's actually go and rotate that all the way. There we go. That could kind of like form the top of a tree, I think. Zoom out the grass, bugged out. Some of the grass bugged out. It did in here. If I play it, it does bug out on the side. And I do know how to fix it. I just need to. I'm just not gonna do it right now. I'll wait so I don't delete it again and have to test it out again. Let's build the top part. Now we have to be smart about this. So if I divide these up, so like this. I think it's like this. Yeah. Okay, so you have to start here. Just do it like that. You also need to have a corner section over here, I think. Let's also do that down here. At least so we know how far we can actually go. So we don't go outside. So if I do actually have a corner section over here, because we can do that. I mean, it's doable. I added 2, so we start here. That's too much. Is that a tree? A little of paint there, a little bit over there. Trying to get the right color scheme. No, it's too much. That's better. Put some color in the tree so it looks like... Oh, we could actually put apples on the tree. That's actually a great idea. Let's do that. A little bit of different things on there. I think it's quite tiny, so if we have the character being tiny, it should probably not be huge apples. Stuff like that. We could actually, you know what we could do? We're going to copy the tree afterwards, and then we're going to have a version that has apples on it. Because we also need to have one that doesn't. Because we can actually make this into bushes, if we want to. The dark green blobs are too blocky. Do something about that then. Why is it not drawing? Oh, right. There we go. Is that better? I think there can be a few of them. There we go. Maybe a little bit down here, like it needs a little bit at the bottom. That's better. Oh, that's good. I also think the lighter screen is too close to the grass color. It's actually the exact same color as the grass color. If the tree was to be on top of grass, then you're actually right. We would want to tell the difference between it. So we need a green that does not look like the green from the grass. How does that look like? Because it is going to be quite tiny, so you want to be able to tell the difference. It could be that type of green, maybe. Let's go and just select really quickly. There we go. I hope this is going to pick the right one. No, that did not work. What, they didn't? No. The tolerance needs to be turned down a little bit, I think. Or it has to be turned up. Okay, maybe it's just too close to each other. It's not really picking up on it. It would kind of suck to draw all this in by hand. Let's go and turn this down. Oh, it's okay. Yeah, I realized I was on the wrong layer. Another error 15 mistake. Right? I was on the wrong layer. Why is it still not doing it? Let me just turn it up here. Yeah, let's not have any anti-aliasing. No? Still not working. You know what I'm gonna do? Just gonna make this easy. Reason I'm forgetting all the shortcuts here. Oh yeah, the tolerance is not the one. There you go. Now it works, of course. I don't know what I clicked, but it works. That's the wrong one. This one. I think a little bit greener. That could actually work out. It might be a little bit too neon green looking, like you're at a rave or something. Leaves aren't solid though. Yeah, you can learn about game development while you're sitting there. Well, at least sprite development while you're sitting there coding. I think the green might be too green, isn't it? Something is off about it, definitely. Maybe we can turn down the hue. Or the saturation is called. I think that might be better. Oh wait, it's changing everything. Need to make sure we don't select any of these. It's because everything is so tiny, because it's in pixels. It has an issue when it comes to picking stuff with the Magic Wand tool. So need to make sure that we're only selecting the parts that we actually want to change. I think something around here could actually be fine. Let's work with this so far. I think this is fine. I've only been following you for a short time and I'm amazed at your efforts. I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. Well, thank you for saying that. You click the magic wand, the only tool I fully know how to use. Well, even when it comes to pixel art, it's not working fully like I expected it to. I'm not used to doing pixel art, so the tools will behave a little bit differently in here. But at least I got what I wanted now, so I'm just going to go ahead and merge these together. Actually, let's wait with that, because I might actually change the color scheme a little bit later. Let's test this out, just to see whether or not this looks great. Let's go ahead and put it on the foreground. This is going to look weird. Is that a... I don't know. Definitely something needs to be worked on here, but there's sort of a concept going. Yeah, that could work. I mean, there's sort of these sharp edges that goes in here, but I think it kind of works. My corner is actually gone. I do actually have a corner, but it doesn't really work with this. You need a connecting sprite. Yeah, I do. Something needs to connect it. It's like these, it's just like the edges of the tree, but I need something that goes in between. So we need a version of this one here, that is connecting sections like this together. So let's try and do that. Oh god, where did I... Okay, so this is the square. Trying to figure out which sections sort of belong together here. This is one of them. Am I wrong? Is this not one of them? Yo, it connects with this edge over here. So going from here to here. Let's go ahead and... I think I do have a connecting section, don't I? I might not have. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this section here. Just gonna copy paste it and work on that. Of course, while actually selecting the proper layer, that would actually work better. Why is it not doing it? There we go. So there has to be some kind of connecting section here. So if I have these, put them on top of each other. Let's do that over here. So this is really what we want to have. I'm going to delete this one. So this is what we have, and then we have this sharp corner here, and we need to fix that. So we need to have a piece here that actually connects these two. At this rate, I would need to dedicate an entire sprite sheet to leaves. Yeah. This corner down here is just for testing. We're just testing out, and then we'll move it back up here and connect everything. I will also need to expand the sprite sheet because it's getting too small now. I wonder if this is gonna hurt my current document if I do that. I don't think it's going to. Actually, I'm pretty sure it's not going to. We're just gonna go ahead and expand it here. Let's do that with the proper tool. Yeah. Merge these together. There we go. So we need to make sure we connect to the proper section here. So is that connecting? Does that look like it's actually connecting with each other? Maybe there has to be drawn in like a corner piece here. But I think I have that up here. So let's just draw them separate. I think that might be better. Oops. Let's not delete my already existing artwork. Is that too? I think that's a bit too staircase looking. Like it's not. There has to be some differences. Let's try that for now. Let's see how it looks like before we start changing it. Even though I highly doubt it looks like it's supposed to. Okay, so let's go ahead and do it like this. Select everything and reapply. So I'm gonna draw in here. There we go. Change the color of it. Now we need to merge these together and move it in. So how would that fit in there? I think it might... Okay, so we have to go 10 down. Let's actually rotate this one to the other side. I think that would be better. No? No, it's not going to be better. Christmas tree with no decoration is the go-to. It does kind of look like a Christmas tree. It's too pointy. You could always dull the spike of the leaves. I could always sort of cut off a little bit of that because it is kind of pointy. When I try doing something in Blender, I always keep a couple of images as a reference. That would probably be the best idea. So let's go ahead and say, let's go ahead and say, I forgot what it's called. Pixel art. Pixel art tree. Huh. Would you look at that? There's some great looking trees in here. So we could actually take these as references and just sort of use them. Let's do that. Let's take these as references. Oh my god, come on, just enlarging it already. Actually, there's some more trees down here. That actually looks pretty good. I think this one could actually be close to the style I'm going for. No. See, it even has the, what do you call it, the apples, and it has shadows under it. Something I haven't considered. And the way they do trees is that they actually shadow and highlight, which is actually what I've done with my character and the rest of my art style. So maybe I should try something like this. This might actually be better. So let's go ahead and delete some of this. Oh my god, I worked so hard on these trees. Let's keep them there for now and build something next to it here. I think the tree trunk is... Yeah, the tree trunk is fine. It's fine. It fits the art style. Don't want to copy everything. So let's go ahead and see again. There we go. So if we had to create something that looks similar to this, using the same color scheme. There we go. Let's start with a basic tree. So we can take something like that one over there. We'll take that one. I'm just going to draw the outline and then I'm going to color it in afterwards with shadows. And again, I'm just sort of going for it because I don't want it to be symmetrical. That tree over there, I can tell, is also not that symmetrical at the top at least. So, did I just on purpose or on accident make it symmetrical? I think I did. We'll make it unsymmetrical afterwards then. Yeah, let's delete some of that. My tree is too thick. Need to slim down. Yeah, that could be a tree, I'm guessing. Let's try and do some shading. It's probably gonna look a little bit different then. I'll do some shadows. Now usually I have the shadow going from the left side, so we need to draw the shadows over here. And some highlights. I noticed that they're shading it very differently than I am. It's actually with the sun going from the top to bottom. And they actually shaded in quite a bit more than I did. Stuff like this. Is that good looking? Could work. Programmer disease. Everything must be symmetrical. The syntax must look properly. And hey there. Welcome to the stream. I mean, if you take a look at that tree I just made here, I know it's kind of tiny on the stream, but if you take a look at this tree, it does look better than this tree. Like, there's just, like, the shading has been done better, and the overall shape is just better. So I think we'll go with this tree here. Now we just need to figure out what the boxes say. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I believe we're going down to here. So it actually needs to fit in here. Let's go ahead and draw a couple of dots for reference. It has to fit in... it has to fit in here, and it has to fit there. Interesting how that's gonna work. I mean, you could always just divide it up into multiple tiles, I'm guessing. So it is a little bit thicker than my tile set is. And I think it has to be a little bit larger. I mean, it's not like a tiny... This is more like a bush right now. So if we need to have a tree, it actually needs to be enlarged a little bit. I wonder how that's going to look like. Oh, wow. With a little bit of reshading, I think it could work. Maybe we need to make it 2 tiles long, and then we can work from there. So that's 1. Oh, wow. Yeah, let's not do that. Let's just draw it. So if it has to be 2 tiles, it has to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It has to be over here. Just gonna go ahead and draw. Okay, so that's 2 tiles. Going here at least. So that's 2. So if we go down to here, that's another 2. So now we have 4 tiles open. We could kind of make something that's round instead of long. So if we go ahead and just sort of try and color this in without drawing the tiles next to us. Kinda. It does look better. The shape contributes the most to that. The shaping is a lot better than, like, I just sort of YOLO'd it down here. And it did not end well. So I'm probably just going to delete what is down here. I do have my colors up here, so I can just repick them. So let's just go and delete this tree. There we go. We're going to work with this one. I think it'll also look a lot better on the trunk down there. Shape in some of the highlights, some of the regular colors. There we go. That's better. I mean, it's not shaded in yet, but it does look better so far. Do a little bit of shading over here. Round the bottom a little bit more. Yeah, we could do that. I was just thinking that it's looking a little bit weird here with the shades. Let's cut off part of this. Okay, that side I think is looking good. What did I just click? Oh. Come on. That's too much. Kinda. I think so. Again, my shading experience is you put a couple of dots here and there, and then hopefully it'll turn out good. If not, then you delete the dots again and you try again. Let's not put it near the edge. That looks weird. Shadows color maybe should be a little bit lighter. Well, the thing about it is that I think grass has a not as, what do you call it, deep shadow. But when you have a tree, like if I'm looking at trees right now, it has quite a bit of a bigger shadow. I think I'll try this out, and if not, then we'll scale down the shadows a little bit. You're probably right. It probably needs to be scaled down. But let's try this so far and see how it looks like. I can already tell it's not going to be perfect. But I think there's no better way to test this out than actually seeing it in action. So let's try this. And I'll just keep the tile up there for now. Actually, no, because that might mess up the... let's move it down where it has to be. So we'll take it. And it has to go right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah. Okay, let's try that. Oh, wow. Everything changed. I can already tell it's starting to look like something. So let's go ahead and rebind the sprite patterns. Let's trim it. Oh, did not work out. Kind of sucks you have to retype this every single time. Apply and delete. Re-update. Let's see if it actually works out now, because it might... Okay, it did. Because I enlarged the entire Photoshop file, so I was afraid it might mess it up. But it did not. Oh. We need to have a middle section. Yeah, we definitely need to have a middle section. So this would go over here, right? And then you would have a top up here. And you have the corners. So if I delete what we have, like that. We would need to have like centerpieces to work with it. And then we can actually start customizing the trees. That's actually kind of cooler. So let's see. Unless the sun sets, the tree won't get much light from under, which is why on the reference they get darker the lower you get. Gives the illusion of volume, even in 2D. Oh, okay. I guess it kind of looks like I have some actual dark things on the tree, which I'm not trying to go for. Let's see. We need a centerpiece. So I'm gonna go ahead and take just a square. How many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Somebody, one more. I think this is what we need. Just copy paste it and place it out here. Is that halfway? I think we're only 9 going down. Whoops. Kinda? Is it also 9 going sideways? Yeah, it is. Okay. Oops. Let's try that. It's probably gonna mess up because I have shadows going on in the tree. Actually, no, it's not centered, so... And I do also have some weird shadows, some highlights going on here. I need to delete those. Yeah, there we go. So if we go back in here. Oh, what is going on there? Is the entire tree not... Oh, we need to have it one more wide. So this actually has to be moved out. Huh. We could actually round the tree a little bit if we wanted to. I think we'll do that. Probably didn't work out. We'll see, we'll see. Kinda, it kinda did. Game development looked cool. I might try sometime. It's fun. It can be very creative in many different ways. Small in-post question if allowed. Were you raised in English? Because your English sounds so accent-free to me, and it almost seems like if it were your mother tongue, or just much training. I actually lived in the US back when I was 15 years old. I moved to the US, and I lived there while I finished high school. Which is why I don't have as thick an accent as some other Danish people do. But there's an accent there, but it's just hidden. Other native English speakers can definitely tell I'm not speaking native English. I think it's more because I feel natural talking or confident talking. It's the confidence that might sound native, but my actual words have accents on them. So we go ahead and reapply this. Sprite editor. Slice. This time I didn't have to redo the whole thing. That was kind of neat. And reapply. Oop. Zoom out, otherwise that's gonna mess up. There we go. Reuse. Is it just me or is it cutting off the top? No, it just it has like a weird corner. Ha! Yeah, let's get rid of that. Doesn't work. There we go. For some reason, it's very round on one side and it's not very round on the other. So let's go ahead and fix that as well. Looks kind of weird. I think that's much better. Let's move that weird sharp corner that's there. Okay, now it's round. So I think that's better. Okay. This might fail. It does kind of fail because there's no highlights. Oh, the tree trunk. Yeah, the tree trunk. There was one person who mentioned the tree trunk earlier. And you're right, that did mess up. Let's put the corner there. Corner here. And fix the tree trunk. So environment. Put that there. There we go. We can actually move down the tree because it kind of looks weird that it's up there. It's a pretty tall tree. Oh, I'm drawing on the environment right now. That's why it messed up. So go to the background. No, the foreground. That's what we're drawing on. There. Draw it in. Sides. It could actually kind of be like a tall tree, I guess. It still has kind of a square look to it. The corners might need to be rounded quite a bit more. It's because I added in the middle section, so it looks kind of weird. You were so scared about making mistakes in English, but I haven't heard you make a mistake in this stream. Well, thank you. I have. In my head, I have made plenty of mistakes, but because, like I said, it's not like a tutorial that I'm doing, I go into this sort of mindset when I do tutorials where everything has to be error-free and perfect, and it psychs me out. So, like right now, I'm just talking, so I don't have the same mindset that I enter. So we definitely need to remove some of these weird things here. So let's go and delete. Let's actually merge these together. There we go. This might completely fail, by the way. I'm trying to merge so it doesn't look like it has to be much more rounded. Let's see how it looks like. So it has to merge up together with this part up here. And I actually think we need to cut this part. I mean, it's definitely more rounded. Maybe I just need to create like a custom side piece that needs to go. Actually, you know what I could do? Instead of creating all the corners again, I could just create a side piece. Let's do that. Let's do that. So this is going to be the side piece. So let's go and delete just about this. There we go. Where's the center? I think I missed it. There. So if you cut off 2. Maybe we could just try this. Yeah, let's try that. It kind of looked like a square nature. It does look very square. I thought that maybe I could take this section. If I move it up there, it can sort of cover the whole squareness. I might need to cut off a little bit more. Kind of has a weird sort of extra sprite to have. But if it works, it works. Yeah, some people can be very salty when you do something wrong. I noticed that, and I'm actually very bad at dealing with those types of people in the comment. Looks nice, just a little bit of touch on the shading, a little bit rounder maybe. Keep more of the shading at the bottom left and give it a bright highlight at the top right. Definitely. So we need to have one here, because this one has to be shaded, actually. It has to be this color. Then I need to have another one. Actually, we just... No, I can just draw it. Then we need to have another one that's actually a shadow. So if you go below here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then make sure we only have 4. I think that could work. It just has to be dark. There we go. And then we need one that's regular. Actually, no, I think the top can actually be like it is. Let's try this. Oh, doing play mode. Slice and apply. Now we just need to reapply the sprite. Reuse. Might need to be a little bit taller. So if we go to the foreground, add it in there. Yeah, it definitely need to... Oh, it even has to be switched around, because the shadow's another side. How long am I gonna stream for? How long have I been streaming for? I've been streaming for about 1.5 hours. Jeez. I feel like I've been streaming for maybe 45 minutes. Don't really know yet. It might be a long stream. I usually sit here all day working on different things, so I figured today would be like a pure streaming day, setting up the stream and actually streaming. So I don't know yet. Could be a long stream. It's going to be applied there. This has to be flipped. So there. It has to be a little bit taller than that. I was really not expecting to have it that tall, but it just keeps looking weird. So let's increase the height of it. Does that look better? It kind of does. There's just a little bit wrong with the texturing of the tree, because it kind of looks like the grass looks, and it has to be different from the grass. So, I'm getting advice on dealing with trolls in the comments. I'm practicing just if a person criticizes the quality of something in my videos, I have this sort of, I don't know, it's people who don't think before they type in the comments, because it's free videos on YouTube, whereas some people, they expect really high quality stuff, like stuff you would find on pay to get places, and usually I give them a little smack over the hand if they comment on that, and I need to be better at just ignoring them, because in the end it doesn't really matter whether or not I reply to them or not. They're too symmetrical. I think you should remove the top pixels from the left and the bottom from the right. It is a bit symmetrical. It's kind of round. This could actually be a bush somewhere. Let's actually try that. I think you could actually draw a bush. So if we go to the foreground, go outside of play mode, of course. Whoops. And now we actually have a bush. I think it works fine as that. It's kind of neat. Maybe we just need to make sure that the ground is... Whoops. Let's go ahead and make sure we only delete one. Go to the environment and draw in the bottom there. I mean, that kind of looks like a bush. I can tell my feet are kind of popping out from behind the bush. Like there's a split second where you can actually see it pop out. I think as a bush, it actually works fine. I think, well, in reality, what we built here was not a tree. It was really a bush we were focusing on the whole time. So we have a bush, and I'm going to copy paste it over and build a tree. Because I actually think it works quite good as a bush. The precious apples. There's no apples on a bush. We're not building a tree. Pretty sure I said that at the beginning. It's too bad the stream has playback. So what we can do is we can copy it over, and then we're gonna make a version with apples, and then we're gonna make a version without apples. So if you copy this, paste it over here, then we're gonna work on the tree, because we need to have the tree. What I think I'm going to do to make this easier is just, because we have an issue when it comes to the side piece that has to fit in, so I'm just gonna go ahead and fit it up here, and then create the side pieces. Like this. And then I'm just gonna fill in the tree, which already look like it might turn out square. You know what I think I'm gonna do? I think I'm gonna wait with the tree and just sort of let it, you know, grow inside my head on how I'm gonna do this. And then I'm instead gonna focus on building something like fences, because we need fences as well. Actually, let's go ahead and plant some of these flowers, because I actually need to have some of these. Let's put them on the foreground and apply them. Now the flowers need to be a different green color, because it's actually blending in with the back, with what is going on here. So we need to have a different green color. Let's pick this one up here. Yeah, that's better. Now there's also some contrast between the grass in the background and the grass that's here. So if we were to pick this, we should be able to tell that there's flowers. And this is the foreground, so let's go ahead and put a couple down here. Whoops. Keep thinking it's Photoshop, so I keep holding in space. They're moving around. Place some over here, right there. Maybe some grass could also be neat to have. There we go. Let's put some in the background as well, so the character can also walk in front of them. We need to have a different background layer, I just noticed. That needs to go in front, so let's create another tile map. Because otherwise I'm gonna draw over the ground. Let's say background environment, I guess I can call it. Oh, we need to resize it. I think that's up here. There we go. And we need to layer it. So right now it has to be layer number 3, I guess. It's a little bit too many flowers, isn't it? Oh, it's a lot of comments. I actually have to scroll up. Well, you could put berries on the tree, I guess, or on the bush, because we're not building a tree, we're building a bush. Among all the YouTubers I know, you're the one who teach the most and let me understand the concept of programming. Thank you for watching. And thank you for that comment. To me, it's all about being constructive and saying what I think might be better. I say what I like and I don't like, but I leave it up to YouTuber to say something with that I said. I come from a 3D modeling world, and I can tell you that the trees are not only in 2D problematic. I would guess they're even worse in 3D. That is not going to work out. The only thing that actually matters in the videos is that people learn from what you say. The way you explain stuff makes it like, WTF, how did I not understand this? I'm glad that I tried to make the videos very beginner friendly, or, you know, people who's never done it before friendly. I wouldn't say too many flowers, but too many of the same kind. That is a very valid point, because you don't want to have the same assets getting repeated. Let's create a second flower type. Let's merge these together. I hate that I always have to merge them, because I keep doing like this. Okay, so it starts down here. Oh, I forgot to draw something there. There we go. Okay, so we need to create a different type of flower. I think it's going to be maybe one that goes over here, and then none on the other sides. And then the grass has to look a little bit different too. So let's cut down on this one and that one. Let's go ahead and make this one a little bit taller. Maybe this one a little bit lower. There we go. I guess. Actually, no, let's cut this one down too. Let's try it. See how it turns out. Sprite editor. Oh, playtime. Ooh, what did I just do? Oh no, everything got pushed around. Why? Why did that happen? No! Oh, no, okay, yeah, I know why. Yeah, just need to reapply. Okay, it's fixed now. I said it's fixed, why is it not fixed? Oh no, what's going on here? Everything got pushed around. Is it because it's changing the size of the tile map or something? Oh yeah, the flower's color could also be changed. You thought the camera was a clown? It's actually in the way often when I control a character, so I had to move my character away from it. It is the C# course I'm doing right now, so I do actually have the next one planned. Sure thing, thank you for watching. Stony Eagle, I've seen you before on my other channel. Sorting layer? Oh wow, what's going on there? It's like the tile map collider is messing up. Oh, I completely forgot that I took away my physics material. Just gonna reapply that while I try to figure out what exactly is going on here. There we go. This is the issue because I know why the problem happened. Because I keep adding more sprites to the tile palette, I'm guessing that it is changing the width and the height of what is going on here. And it's actually changing up because when it makes the tile map, it actually goes in and creates this little weird thing. Let's see if we can find it. Let's go back to assets and go to tile maps. This might be the one that it messed up, but I'm not sure. If you take a look at what it actually did, it actually went in and replaced a lot of the textures. Let's see. I really have no idea why it's messing up. And for some reason the tile map is messing up too. Like, I haven't even drawn anything here. I can delete stuff in the tile map area. Oh right, no, that's for the actually no, I have no clue why. It just like completely shifted things. Just go ahead and redraw. Spending too much time on this. Time to figure out what's wrong. Background. I have no idea why. It just like decided to shift everything. Because I increased the size of the tile palette. Unity does use C#. I actually have my own small player script that I'm working on here. I like to build them up myself. I know you can just sort of go on the internet and find player scripts to control your character. But building it up from scratch is something that helps understand how the different physics and stuff work inside Unity. So it's something I like to just do on my own. But I'm glad people are offering to give me player scripts. Sorry for newbie questions, but C# was mentioned so many times now. Is C# ever used to something besides .NET applications and Unity scripts? You can use C# for pretty much anything. Mobile applications inside Xamarin. You can build Windows software. You can build... the cool thing about C# is that you can actually convert C# into this in-between sort of data that then get converted to native code for whatever platform you're aiming for. So you can use C# for pretty much anything. A lot of developers, they have sort of a favorite language they like to learn. Some people like to learn Java because Java works in everything as well. For me, it's C#. And I did it because it's sort of a... If you have to take all the programming languages, C# is one of the more difficult ones. So it was to sort of give myself a challenge. Okay, so we have to redraw everything again. I need to find out how exactly it is recommended that you update. If anyone knows, please let me know. If I want to update my tile palette without messing up my entire scene, how do I do that? Because right now I'm just sort of dragging in the new sprites and then I say reuse and then it does it. If I actually drag it in just to show it, because I can actually go ahead and do that now that everything is gone. If I were to go in my sprites and drag it in and say overwrite, it's going to do some weird thing up here. That's what it's going to do. So that is not an option. Create new copy. I haven't tried yet, but that looks like it's going to create an alternate version. So now you have two environments, which is not something I want to do. And now I just did something. Oh my god, it's recreated so many assets now. Can we go back? Because I do not want to have that many assets. Let's just go ahead and start from scratch. This is not gonna work out. I think I can go and do this. Apply. Oh, where does it save it? It saves it here. Tile map. So we have the environment, we have the palette settings. So is that the palette? I don't think it is. I'm pretty sure it's recreating some of these because I don't have that many. Let's just go and delete them. It's gonna mess something up here. But I'm just gonna go and recreate them. So going inside Sprite Editor, we're gonna go ahead and redo this. Slice, apply, and now we have them again. This time we don't have a lot of them, so that's always something. There you go. Oh, sure thing. School is important. Yeah, Unity uses C#, which is great. I like Unity. I can't really see any solutions to why, like how you're supposed to update. Like if you Google how to update a tile palette without messing everything up, I get one hit on somebody else who asked the same question. And that was back in 2015 and nobody answered him. That's what I'm getting. If it says unexpected something, there's a typo in your code. There always is. If you look through your code, you can't find a typo, look through it again because it is there. That's usually how it is. Actually, 100% of the time, that's how it is. It doesn't necessarily have to be within that same method that you're building where it says the error is. If you missed it somewhere else on the top of it in the script, the error can be up there as well. Yeah, we're just gonna redo this. Delete, delete, delete. Because otherwise it's gonna be pink underneath it. Background, I believe? Yeah. Okay, new environment. If we go in, draw the grass. Let's go and start it down here. This is going to be part of the environment. Let's just draw grass for now, because I do think that the grass is all we need. We don't need to have all the concrete. I haven't really updated the concrete texture yet, so it's not worth looking at. There we go. And then if we go ahead and go to the background, draw in the grass. Oh, it's doing something weird here. It was mixing in some of the environments. Like it wasn't like squares. It was rectangles. Go to, actually no, we're supposed to go to the foreground. Plant the bush here. Environment, there we go. Let's plant another bush up here. So now everything should be kind of back to where we were before, just without all the flowers. See, now there's another square here getting in the way. Like, I'm not supposed to be walking into anything before we get up here, but down here I'm walking into something, so... And if you look at it, I haven't really applied anything. Like, there's no... This is the stuff I walk into. There's nothing here, like underneath the bush. But if I walk into the bush. I might... No, I do have a material on it. Do I need to reapply the material? Is that it? Maybe I need to reapply the collider. Let's try it. Where is it? I do have my glasses on, but I can't find it. Oh, right, I'm in the wrong section. I have to go down to tile maps. Apply physics material. There we go. Wait, did it just redo everything I just did? Because I was in play mode. We have to reapply. Okay. There we go. So I walk over, and it's still there. Because grass is all we need. I hope no one is going to put that sentence out of context. That's a drug reference. Oh, of course. Oh, I know why it's doing it. Okay, yeah, I know exactly why it's doing this. Oh, could that also be the reason for why I did it before? If I go to my player, I can actually edit the collider. This is the wrong one. This one. There we go. So now, but it kind of goes in front of my face. It has to go behind. Do I need a second environment layer? No, because if I walk behind it, it's not gonna... Oh, that's so weird. It goes behind, okay. But at least I figured out why that was the thing. So we might need to... Is it still up there? Because no, it's down here. Let's go ahead and put that there. Small adjustments just to get the game working properly. Yeah, this is much better. I can get closer to the bush now. Now we need to fix the issue here with the things going in front. And I think that requires a different environment texture that goes behind the character. Does this one go behind the character already? That's on 5. That's actually in the same layer. If I have it go behind the character, will that fix it? I think it should. It should fix it. So order and layer, we're going to do 4. So now if I walk over here, that works. And that kind of works. It's giving me sort of a cut here, but I think I can fix it with a sprite atlas. So yeah, this fixed it. We'll do that. And then the cutting, I don't know if you can tell because it's so tiny, but there's a little bit of cutting if I walk down into the... Like you can see the feet popping out, like a pixel. That requires sprite atlas to fix that. I've tried a bunch of solutions when it comes to fixing these sort of things with the gaps in between the tiles, but the sprite atlas is the only thing I've actually found to work. Just going to connect the environment to it. There we go. So now if I were to try it again, oh yeah, let's go ahead and disable all this stuff. There we go. No, it's still doing it. So the sprite atlas did not work for that specific issue. Oh yeah, I know how to fix this. I think the feet of the player. Yeah, that's the issue. See that collider right there? It's not going all the way down. Need to fix that. Why did I do that again? I had a reason for putting it 1 pixel above the ground. I had a very good reason for it, but I don't know what it is. It was to fix some other issue I had. Let's just put this down here. There we go. Let's try it. Let's see what exactly that just did, because it might have broken something. So we go up here. No more feet. That fixed it. No, it's not breaking anything. So I think it's just going to be like this. I think I used to just have the character go sideways, and I think it might have broken that because there was a gravity pull on the player, which made the player go too close to the ground down here. And I think that's why I put up the collider. So I wouldn't have to redraw the tiles in a different way. So this is fine. This is fine. This is actually working out. Thank you for the game looks awesome comment. Okay, so having that built, let's test the tree again, because tree thing was sort of weird. Foregrounds. Oh, we need another foreground then. Let's create another one. There you go. Tile map. We'll call this one, I guess, foreground front. In capitalize, please. Don't want any inconsistencies. There we go. Oh, yeah, size it down. Otherwise, it's too big. Whoops. There we go. So now we can actually go and readjust the layer. It is going to be at 15. just to have something a little bit taller. So now we can actually put it in front without replacing the tiles, which is good. Put a tree here. It looks a bit similar to the bush, but I guess we'll just live with that for now. I mean, it kind of looks like a tree. Like, it does have some highlighting issues, but we kind of have a tree going. So we take some of the flowers. Let's do that. And place them on the foreground. So we'll say we'll have a few down here. Let's go ahead and replace with some of the other flowers. There we go. It's pretty neat because you can put the flowers in front of the bush now without it affecting the background. Let's take the other flower one and put it here. And now we have flowers, but like one of you said, we probably need to change the color of the flowers. So let's pick not a red flower, because if we're going to have apples on the tree, I don't think it should be red. Let's pick a blue one. It doesn't work with blue. That looks weird. And we also need to change the center color, I think. Can always pick something pinkish. Let's change the center to yellow. That's better. It gives some diversity, I think. Hey Martin, Vessels, and I feed the pay. You also wanted attention today? You smell like you peed. Did you pee on the floor? Actually, it might have been the other dog that peed. There was a dog in here peeing earlier. Whoa. Don't. You're always getting tangled up in my headset, even when I put you on my lap. So I think we have something going. Well, we're gonna go ahead and draw a fence, and then we're gonna put it down here at the bottom, because we need something to visually make it look like the player can't go over the edge. So we need to have a fence. We're just gonna draw that really quick. I don't think a fence is difficult, but again, I'm the guy who can't draw a tree, so you know, maybe a fence is even more of a challenge. Draw it down here. So we need something that looks like wood. Like, how bright is a fence? Is it kind of like this? Yeah, it's kind of like that. So this is the bottom. I think a fence needs to be the full 10 pixels tall. So, but it would also be nice to be able to diversify the fences a little bit. So if we were to go over here and then draw the full length of the fence and also have it go up. So we'll do like this. Do it again here. Kinda. Now the fence is off. Like, there's not enough pixels. Or at least there's the wrong amount of pixels. So maybe we need to put on the edge there instead. So put on the edge. Like so. Then we'll draw the fence down here. So how much is 10 pixels? It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. A little bit in between. There has to be some shading, of course, because right now it doesn't look good. little bit of shading. So if we take this same one, but add maybe a slight decrease in the type of color that we use. Might be too much. What I learned so far from my viewers is that they don't like too dark colors. So let's do it like this instead then. Also gives a little bit of depth to it. So it doesn't just look like one solid piece of wood. Then we need some highlights. It's kind of weird with the highlights though, because it's just essentially drawing the rest of it then. Let's start with this one and try it out. Oh no, it's gonna mess up. I just completely messed up my glasses there. Let's take off the glasses. Is it gonna mess up my tile map now or the tile palette when I re-import it? I hope it's not going to. Oh no. Okay, let's try it. Let's try it. But I don't want to. It's gonna break the whole thing. Let's reapply it. No, it messed it up. If anyone knows what I'm doing wrong there, I'd like to know. Oh, I just noticed that the color here is off. Why? That's weird. I don't think I drew on this one. Okay. So because I'm changing the size of the palette, for some reason it messes it up. And I don't know why. It can't be true, you have to... I mean, I do have one way to fix it. But it's just kind of a crappy solution. Because right now what it's actually registering is the one, like the tiles that actually has something on it. So all the empty space you see in between is not actually getting registered. So when I put something in one of the empty ones, it gets like, it changes the format of the tile palette. So what I could do is I could essentially go into Photoshop and make the background white, because then the tiles have been registered from the beginning. But when I see other people use this tile palette, they don't need to. So I don't want to do that solution, because that's also gonna make it so that I can't resize my my artboard inside Photoshop, because then I'm stuck with the size that I'm in right now. So I don't know why this is happening. Let me try and Google it. Let's say Unity tile palette shifts. Let's say rearranges, because ranges. Doesn't really seem like people have the exact same issue as I'm having. Oh. Oh. It's because of the size of the atlas. Let's try reapplying it now. So now it rearranged properly. But this in here hasn't changed yet. For some reason. So the sprite atlas is the one that messes it up. Because it can't fit everything in there. When I add new sprites in, the atlas gets confused. Maybe I would also need to... Okay, yeah, it's not... So either I need to wait with the sprite atlas, or I need to figure out how to redo the sprite atlas without messing everything up. Because that is probably why everything doesn't work. That means that we have to redraw, because what is going on right now on the screen is what is getting messed up because of the sprite atlas. So we do actually need to redraw some of this. If you just focus on one layer at a time, let's go ahead and start with the flowers. And I noticed that these flowers are the ones that gets messed up here. So let's take the foreground. There we go. The bush is getting messed up. That has to be in the environment one. And we also need to replace a flower. There we go. Foreground, environment, and then we need to redo the tree. So we have the foreground front, it goes there, and the foreground over there. And then the tree trunk needs to be replaced in the environment one. Okay, I think everything is fixed now. Oh, you're welcome. I'm glad you learned something from it. Okay, so now we're gonna try and do the foreground front one, because now we can actually, as you can see, we can actually have flowers going on behind, which is pretty neat, and that's because we have a front version. The fence might be a little bit tall, to be honest. So when I play, and again, there's going to be this weird chop here, because I haven't reapplied the sprite atlas, but it messes up everything, so we're not going to do the sprite atlas right now. You want to see what I'm doing again? You see the character walking around? They usually spend the entire day with me when I sit in here. You know, it's kind of difficult sitting here when you're trying to push my chair, because the chair has movable parts of it. Okay. Slowly but steady, we're getting something here. Now the bush is kind of hidden, so, you know, I might need to fix the fence. Let's go in here and then do something about that, because I think the fence needs to be much smaller. There you go. Push that down. Might just need to just have one going horizontally, because it kind of looks like they're kind of thick. So just gonna remove these. Let's try that. That might work. Is it just me? Oh, I know what's going on here. The fence is too thick when they meet each other. So we need to have one fence. How are we going to do that? One of them is going to be joined together on the side. Like this. And then we need to push them together. I mean, are they too thick? No, I don't think they are. So we have an issue here. So now we don't have a technical issue. Now we have a what do you call it? An artistic issue. I could actually just disable my lighting there. Actually, let's go ahead and do this because it's getting kind of bright in here with the sun. Extend horizontally rows like Minecraft fences. How do Minecraft fences look like? Like, I have seen them before, but it's been a while, so Minecraft fence. Oh yeah, you could do like that. Actually. It is kind of what I'm doing, I think. What I could do is I could actually remove one of these. Like so. Let's go back to the tree. And what I could then do is I could actually expand this middle section. There we go. Like that. Kind of looks weird now because it doesn't have a shadow. So we do need to have a highlight color, which sucks. But we can't tell much of a difference. I guess we're gonna try that, but it doesn't really make sense though. Let's try that to start with. Let's try it. Oh, but it's also gonna mess it up a little bit, so we need to move this in before we try anything. So now it's gonna be this color here. Got one more out. And there's going to be 1, 2, there has to be 3 of these. Kind of running into issues again. Okay, let's try making this a dark color. And now I think everything is like it's supposed to be. So, better, I guess. I kind of feel like the colors aren't that, like, they're kind of faded too much together with each other. Which they shouldn't be. With the fence. Like, it has to be a little bit dark in the shadow parts. Kind of like that. That did something. Give a little bit of 3D look to it. The end part is weird. Like over here. I mean, it goes outside the when I play it. Like it just sort of follows out. I could probably just remove that piece of grass from the ground because that kind of looks weird. So if I go ahead and do that. Environment. There we go. There we go. Man, imagine people building complete games that are being sold. Like, it takes a long time. There's a little bit of issues here with the flower. Which I'm curious to how you could actually fix, because it's going in front of the face. Like this one obviously has to be in the background, so that's a fix for that one. So right now it's in the foreground, it shouldn't be that. Let's go and delete that. There we go. There we go. Background environment, I'm guessing. Are they gonna paint on top of each other now? Actually, we can do that, that's fine. So we have fences now. We have a tree, we got a bush. We need some dirt areas, like because we have some dirt areas out in the yard. So we need something look a little bit like this. And I can actually draw that already. So if I were to take this, go to the background. We need something that looks like it connects with it. I guess that already does. So if I had to draw out the yard, looking from the street, with the house in the background, the house would actually be over here. Kinda. Then we would have our camper here actually, so we would have a fence, which will be in the background. Oh, we need to also have a downwards fence option. We actually don't have a tree there. We actually have a tree right here. So now I'm actually trying to draw out what we actually have in the yard. So let's go and remove some of these things. There we go. Environment. Now, just as a placeholder, I'm just going to go and use this fence until we get something else. Let's go ahead and do that. We actually have a fence going up here. And it actually goes like in a weird way like this, if I'm not mistaken. Actually, we don't have a fence going that far. So it actually goes up here and then it stops. Background used to be grass. Then we have a dirt area over here. I think that actually continues. Does that look weird? Kind of looks weird. But it does give it some kind of texture behind it. So maybe I should go ahead and do like this. Hey Bassett, you're back for more scratches? Guess we could do it like this. It's kind of look different. I think this works. It looked kind of weird with the dirt behind it, but I have to find some kind of solution to that later. So what we also have is we have the entrance to the house right here. Goes down. Then we have a dirt area. Here we have benches. We have sitting areas. We have a path going here. Actually, no. We have a dirt area here. And then we have a path. And then we actually have bushes right here. So that is something we need to have in the foreground. Or is that the foreground front? forgot. So we have bushes right here. It's going to be an environment, so we don't want to walk into it. We do also have a second bush here. Actually, no, just sort of stretches. There we go. Got a tree. Kind of forgot that we're not supposed to draw environment here, because now I can't walk past it. Foreground. So the character should still be able to walk through here. Yeah, there we go. Why I don't use the dark theme? I'm pretty sure that is something that you need to have the professional version of Unity for. This is the free version, which is the commercial one. So dark theme doesn't come with it, I'm sure. If I go to settings, preferences, colors. I don't think the colors come with it. What game am I making? Right now I'm trying to make just a small little for fun game where I'm trying to do something because we have a bunch of animals here. We have 3 dogs, we have cats, we have stuff. And I want to make this little game where you have to walk around and you have to find the different animals by solving puzzles. So right now I'm just doing environmental design, and then afterwards I'm going to figure out how the puzzling thing is going to work, even though that's probably a really bad way to do it, because if I decide on a puzzle scheme that doesn't fit in with this sort of environment, then that might be an issue. But I think I right now just sort of practice creating assets for games, because I'm not really an artistic person. So creating game assets is something that I want to get good at. So right now that's what I'm working on. So when it comes to the environment, we also do have a tree. It's actually on this side. It's actually right there. And it is not a very tall tree, so could possibly go around here. Actually, it should probably have a trunk more. Foreground. There we go. Oh, I'm not using the pro one. I'm more of a game developer for fun. I haven't done that much in Unity, to be honest. So the interface is still pretty new to me, but I am trying to learn how to use it. Hey dude, just started to look into HTML and CSS. Really appreciate my videos. Thank you for watching them. It's actually one of those courses that, like right now, the main audience I have comes from the PHP tutorials. I like my HTML course to be sort of a thing that people have an easier time finding on YouTube, because that's sort of where you start out. So I'm glad when people, they find my channel because of those. How does it look like without the grid? There's sort of this weird edge going on over here, and I'm kind of curious to whether or not I should try and do something about that. Technically, if I were to look outside, it does actually have this going over here. So that kind of fixes it. We do also have a fence set up, but it's a different kind of fence on the inside of the yard. So we kind of have a backyard here, I guess. Just need to add a little bit of flowers, a little bit of different things. I haven't mowed the lawn yet, so we have really tall grass out there with lots of flowers. But we're not gonna draw it from what it is right now. We're just gonna try and make it moderate, I guess. So let's do the foreground front. Again, now that was the issue, because if I were to try and walk down on the flower, it should probably be a background thing, I think. My dog might have to go pee. So what we could do So we just sort of add the flowers here. It's nice to see something new, but it will be more fun if you continue with C# series, of course, because then some people would be able to maybe follow with this a little bit easier. Right now, it's not really C#. No, it's. I do have, of course, a little bit going on this project, but it's mainly just artistic right now. I'm just setting up the project, so. This kind of works, doesn't it? Considering whether or not this should be like a dirt ground, that's actually going to do that in the proper layer. There we go. Kind of like that. Then this up here could just be grass. And this could be like that. That kind of works. This doesn't work somehow. Okay, that's supposed to be there. That's not supposed to be like that. So we do have an issue here. This little bit of clipping has to be fixed. Of course, all of this over here is just like placeholders, but it will be something else at some point. I should probably go ahead and animate the character so we can actually walk up and down without looking weird, because right now, as you can see, it's like she's walking backwards. Like we have animations from sideways and we have idle animations, so like the eyes blink and stuff, but we don't have anything for walking up and down. So let's go ahead and do that one, I guess. Actually, no, let's not do that one. There we go. Could be some flowers over here. This looks kind of weird when there's not like many different types of flowers that only have 2 different sprites. Trees wise, we do actually have a tree trunk right there. That would actually be fun to add. So let's do an environment. Place that right there. Now our yard actually kind of curves, which I guess I could do to make this a little bit more dynamic. Now I think it's fine. How long have I been streaming so far? It's been streaming for 2.5 hours. It's great to see me again. Thank you. I do actually remember you from my previous videos. I do remember some people who comment on my videos. I remember Nishat. Very kind on my last videos, especially the ones I just made. Can you keep the what? Can you keep the reply on your channel, please? Can I keep replying on the channel, please? I am replying to a lot of people on my channel. I don't reply to everyone, but I reply to most people. Well, not most. I get a lot of comments every day, but I reply to a certain percentage of people on the channel. Replay. Oh, if you can replay, yeah, sure, replay the stream. Yeah, of course. I did actually check that off, I'm sure. Let me just double check. Stream options. It should save it to the channel. It actually allows for you to play back up to 4 hours, according to this one. So you can actually watch it from the beginning at the moment, but Of course, that wouldn't be the same thing as watching live. How does Desc look like in the stream? It looks kind of tiny, doesn't it? I mean, it is, like, I can always size it down a little bit. Slide it over. Looks a little bit bigger. Is that better? I'm watching the stream right now to see how it looks like. It is viewable. I just noticed something funky. Oh no, it's still there. The lines that are getting drawn, as you can see, there's actually some lines getting drawn. They appear depending on the window size. That is weird. But again, like I said, we can always just add a sprite atlas and then we'll fix it. But I don't know, it just seems kind of weird that you have to do that with a sprite atlas. I feel like the tile map system is not completely functional yet. When there's those sort of errors, you have to fix in weird ways. My girlfriend throwing in fun stuff for the dogs. I think I pretty much did what I wanted to do for today when it comes to the sprite. And I might continue this another day. But for now, I think this is pretty much it. I think I'm going to go ahead and end the stream here and continue with some other work so I don't stream all day. Even though I did put time aside for streaming, I do have some other things I want to get done too. So I do want to say thank you for following the stream. It has been a pleasant first time experience. I was a little bit uncertain about streaming on the channel because I had to set up some guidelines to what I would want to allow in the stream. The video description does actually say like what the guidelines are regarding the stream, and there's just certain questions I get quite often when it comes to both comments and on private emails. For example, I had to ask people not to ask on one-on-one help with tutorials. You'll be surprised, I've actually tried streaming another place and people came in and asked me, even though it wasn't related to that at all. And it's just sort of a weird thing that people do, I think. Because I'm sitting here with, right now, 30 other people, and then a person comes in and asking one-on-one help, so it's just kind of weird. Yeah, so there's just a couple of different rules I had to set up for the stream before I was ready to go on stream. I think so far it's actually gone pretty good. I think I'll go ahead and just write down Q&As that I usually get in the comments, because then I can just point down to the description. Then people can actually just read it down there, so I have to re-say it over and over again. So thank you very much for a decent, pretty good stream. Decent, I make it sound like it's not a good stream. It's a really good stream, so thanks for watching, and I will go and see you guys at another point.